Hi there. Today, I would like to talk about the two most important imperatives of management. The two most important imperatives without which the business organization would fail. Now, what would be the two most important imperatives? Now, first and foremost, okay, imperative number one, and this is the most important imperative. Now, the wording of the imperative is this: business organizations must attain, sustain, and if they can sustain, then they should enhance their competitive advantage. So that is imperative number one. Imperative number one is the so-called sustainable competitive advantage imperative. It is not easy to sustain competitive advantage. But without competitive advantage, business organizations would not have the capability to compete with competitors in the same industry or in other industries in which the products and services of those firms can be substituted, okay, or practically because the demand, okay, the needs, wants, desires of customers cannot be satisfied by that business firm, and then the competitors can do so, and this would put the business organization in grave danger. So that is the first imperative, the most important imperative. This is the survival in the marketplace imperative. Now, the second imperative is that business organizations, in undertaking all of their activities, more so in their efforts to achieve, to sustain, or even to enhance competitive advantage. In doing these, business organizations must not harm or put into disadvantage or act in manners or ways that would reduce the welfare of any of their stakeholders. Now, this is the so called social responsibility imperative. So, these two imperatives are important. Now, here I would like to stress that only business organizations, okay, only business organizations should consider these two imperatives. Or, in other words, these two imperatives are applicable to business organizations. You need to have organizations that live, survive, thrive, or potentially die in the marketplace. In that sense, organizations that do not depend on the marketplace due to whatever reasons are not included. For example, government linked companies or government owned companies. Okay, those kind of organizations are not included. Okay, And then, of course, in the second imperative, question of who should be the stakeholder or stakeholders of the business organization. Now, the stakeholders of business organizations are those individuals, groups, okay, of people or communities, okay, and even the environment that can be affected adversely by the operations of the organization. So those should be considered as the not imperative, but rather as the stakeholders of the organization. Now, these two imperatives are extremely important because these two imperatives should be the basis of constructing how well the business organization is performing. Okay, so you must consider what does it take, okay, for you to measure how well that the business is able to attain, sustain, or perhaps enhance competitive advantage, and how well does the business organization can ensure that no one of their stakeholders are being harmed or being uh, put in a situation in which their welfare have been reduced. So these two imperatives are important. Now, I will discuss more about these two imperatives of management in class. So pay attention to what I will say in class. What I say here in this video is just an overview of the two most important imperatives. Here in my classes, these two most important imperatives should be the guiding light of leaders of organization in ensuring, okay, the conduct, okay, in ensuring how they would apply the four functions of management to ensure that the business organization, okay, would be run in the most optimal manner. So I hope that you understand, okay, the two most important imperatives of management, and then the general idea of how the management function, or practically how the leadership should apply the management function to ensure that the business organization is being run in the most optimal manner. We will discuss this more in class, and I'll see you again next time.